Isaac, I'm going to answer you first because you're number one in my heart. I'm just kidding. I'm just being mean to Chelsea because she was so snooty in her last video. Come to think of it, Roxy's number one in my heart, so you're both out of there. So you should definitely get the smaller apartment, in my opinion. I think you're too young to be living in like luxury. Like you can live in something modest like everyone else. However, what you should do is spend that money that you would have spent at the luxury apartment and use that money to decorate your apartment really nice and try to get an artsy roommate and make them do it for you. That would be my advice to you. Next up, Chelsea. Thank you for asking me this question. No one ever asked me this question. My standard answer to this question is space-time manipulation, even though some people think it's kind of cheap because it's sort of invincible. It makes me invincible. That's why I want it, actually, is because it is all-powerful, in my opinion. There's a character in the Hero series, I may have already told you this, but his name is Hiro Nakamura, and he has this capability, and he also carries a sword, and it's really cool. So Hiro was probably my favorite character in the series Heroes, and I really, really liked his power. It's super useful. The reasons why is because I can stop time and stop anyone who wants to do me harm and just punch them when they're not conscious, aware that I'm freezing them. Secondly, I could travel anywhere I wanted to since I have space and time manipulation. So I guess really what I'm essentially saying is that I want to be a human TARDIS. In a way. Except I carry a sword. By the way, look how pretty my new book is. So what I was going to talk about today is the inevitable end to an era of shoes. I know you're both very familiar with these because I've worn them ever since I've met the both of you, I guess. Something like that. Just like the first pair, they're starting to fall apart. And see, it's got like a hole in it. In my experience with these shoes, after you start seeing the first few rips, you have about a month to 2 months before they just look super ratty and you can't really wear them anymore. So I'm not going to rebuy this pair, even though I'll miss them and they were wonderful to me. I'm going to go with a new shoe. I don't know which one yet, but you won't see me in these anymore. Isn't that weird? The last thing I was going to talk about is that we usually get these brochures for restaurants that are opening up around Arlington, around Cooper Street, I guess, just around our apartment. And businesses will put these brochures on our door, and I usually just throw them away because I'm not interested in them. But the name on this brochure that we just got recently was Vietalia. I'll show you. Anyway, so if you couldn't tell, this place serves Italian and Vietnamese food. They have two categories, like two sides of their menu that I just showed you on their brochure. I thought this was really cool because that's two of my favorite food cuisines, like food cultures, and I am super excited to try it. By the way, I want one of you to read that Hyperion book I was telling you about because it was so good and I want to talk about it with someone. Or just read like the Spark Notes or something. Anyways, I don't have a cool ending like you two do apparently by asking thoughtful questions. So